Well, howdy, folks. Here in outdoor sporting, we love to fish, we love to play, we pray constantly. Some folks might take the city lights, the city sounds, over getting a little dirty, loving God, but hunting is a way of life, and it's what we love to do. This is outdoor sporting. What's going on, guys? We're going to start off by getting the bike warmed up. We're going to do the first service and check over on this thing. Y'all stick around. We'll kind of go step by step on how we're going to do it over here in the Hamel garage. Anyway, let's check it out. All right, y'all, like I was talking about, we're going to do the first service on this thing. The very first thing that I like to do is crack this case. I let the motor warm up for a few minutes, get it up to temp. I'm just going to throw that cap right off there. Anyway, open that up. Its motor's warm. Right down here behind this spring, you'll see that's your fuel to spill. I'll put it on a level stand before I start adding oil to this. But we'll go around to the other side and start dumping the old fluid out, see what she looks like. It's a good idea to go ahead and have some rags. You can throw a rag in your catch pan and keep it from splashing as bad. Let's see here. Probably before I start that, I'm going to take that skid plate off. Maybe cause less of a mess. Go ahead and do that now. Just two 8mm fasteners on the front of the skid plate, I believe. Lock down and unclip. We'll just unclip. Good time to clean out your skid plate. Yeah. Get back over here. Let's see if y'all can see that drain plug. Let me drop you guys down a little bit. Right behind the shifter, I believe, is going to be our drain plug. That exhaust is hot. Alright, see how this goes. Kickstand's kind of in the way. Maybe I should have done this, started off on a level stand. Here we go. Try not to make a huge mess. Oh, yep, throw it right down in there. Gosh dang, it's hot. Anyway, I've got about 20 miles on it. I don't have an hour meter on this one, but here 20 miles, 10 miles an hour, probably not quite accurate. I'd rather do the first service a little early than late. I want to do a oil change on these about every 10 hours anyway. But you can see, you can get a little bit of that break in. You want to look for large flakes. This is looking kind of like a paste. And that's kind of what you want to see. Don't see any large flakes. You'll always want to replace that crush washer if all possible. I'd ordered a crush washer kit, copper crush washer kit from Amazon. It's like 10 bucks. A bunch of them I probably won't ever use because of the size, but I'll hold that washer right there. Let that finish draining. I'll probably stand it up, make sure I get everything out. Got that magnet cleaned off real good. Make sure you get all the debris off of it so you've got a clean slate for the next time you have an oil change. Anyway, I'll grab a new copper washer. We'll stand this up level to make sure we got all the oil out of it. Let it drain down a little bit. You can kind of tip it over on the stand some to Make sure we get every bit out that we can. We're cleaning out all that break-in metal paste. So, anyways, I'm gonna grab another copper washer, grab the torque wrench, and probably meet you on the other side of the bike in just a second. All right, guys, and I'm no way sponsored by these people or anything. Trust me, you can look at my size of my following and know that I have no monetization whatsoever. But this is a Lord Hardware Company. This is where I got my copper washers. Pretty much, I don't know how well you'll be able to see. Let's put that back up there and try not to dump them out all over the floor. I'll grab that one. Looks like a direct match. Here's my old washer. Let's close that up before we make a huge mess. And I'll put that back. There's two sides to a copper washer. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. So this side is exactly flat. There's a little bit of a bevel on this side. I believe that your bubbled up side goes to the case. If I'm wrong, please let me know. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get that started. I'll grab the torque wrench. We'll get that plugged in. Meet on over to the other side. We just want to get it started hand tight. Just right there, snug. Not tight yet. Want to do that with the torque wrench. There you go. All right, guys. So the torque spec on that is 14.8 foot-pounds. I'm using a 1/4 inch drive, and the torque wrench that I have is in inch-pounds. And it comes to 177.6 or something like that. I've got it set on 178. I figure that's close enough. A 0.4 shouldn't strip the threads out. But right there, that's all you need. And we're good to go on that side. Before we put the skid plate and everything on, I did get a little bit on the frame itself. I want to wipe that off real good. I'm not going to use just a whole lot of solvent. I've got a little bit of greaser on this rag to clean it off real good. While you're doing this kind of stuff, it's a good idea to go ahead and check other bolts and stuff while you've got skid plates off, and you kind of want to routinely do that anyway. Although there's not a whole lot of vibration on these newer TPI bikes. These are still 2 strokes, and they do still have a tendency to vibrate a bit. I'll go through here and just put this on, make sure there's nothing that's just backed out. Everything should have blue Loctite on it. You just don't want to run into that on a trail. So anytime you're doing maintenance on it, it's not a bad idea to go ahead and just put a tool on everything you can get to. But anyway, we'll go to the other side and fill it up. All right, guys, we're about ready to put some new fluid in it. What I've got is this Motrex 1040. They say you can use a whole bunch of different motor oils as long as it's a 4T full synthetic 1040. However, looking it up through dealership, it says to use this Motrex, highly recommends it. I believe it was 780 milliliters. I'm not entirely sure. We'll figure that out as we go, as you guys know. All I have here is a 500 milliliter fill bucket, so we will do one 500 and one 300, and like I said, the fill to spill over on the other side of the engine case. We'll keep an eye on that as we're filling. You don't have to pull the spring off of the rear brake, but just so you guys can get a better video picture, I'm going to remove this spring so we can see that oil come out. Anyway, all right, guys, now that we got that brake return spring out of the way, I'm going to crack this fill to spill. I am on an engine stand now, front and rear tires are off the ground the same amount. You want this thing as level as possible. And then what we'll do is we will just feel until we see it come out of this little hole right here. I'll try to get you guys a little closer so we can watch it. Let's see here. There we go. And again, we got 500, come on now, 500 milliliters of 1040 Motor X. Just put it in slow with a good clean funnel, good clean fill cup. Keeping an eye on that oil overflow. And I'd already cleaned and put my skid plate on. That might have been a bad idea since we are going to have oil coming out of that overflow hole. There was also, I picked up some Maxima TPI 2-stroke oil. We'll see. I was waiting for some comments on some folks to let me know what's good to use. It's supposed to be low ash and made for TPI bikes. Alright, so we got 500 in there. Let me fill up an extra 300. Like I said, I think it's 780 is what it's spec'd out to be. So figure if we put 800 in the fill cup, we ought to be able to get it to go. Anyway, let's see, I'm gonna put some rags under here so we can catch it before it makes too big of a mess. All right, here we go. Got about 300 extra. There we go. There's about 100. Oh, we got some coming? Nope. Keep an eye, which it looks like I'm out of focus. Come on now, work with me. Y'all bear with me here. Oh shoot, let me get y'all a better view before we continue on. There we go. Maybe it'll focus that a little bit. Right there, focus there. There we go. Alrighty. Samsung problems. Alright guys, keep an eye on that. We're at about 150 extra, so we're about 650. I'll be getting close. Oh, we got some coming out with right at 180 milliliters left. So what's that, about 720? Maybe I didn't do something right. Anyway, we'll let that do what it's going to do. Also, this that comes out has a crush washer. I'm going to replace that as well and torque that in. I don't remember exactly. I think it's 22 inch-pounds, but we'll know for sure before I continue on. And we are starting to make a mess out of that spill hole. Again, I'm just going to put this in hand tight, and then we'll torque it. All right, guys, tried as I might, I could not find a torque spec for this. So this is an 8 millimeter. So a good general rule of thumb is finger tight and then a quarter turn. And that'll be enough to crush that crush washer. That's not going to be as prone to coming out, especially with a crush washer on it. But I'm sure there's a torque spec out there. I just could not find it. Anyway, I'm going to go around and make sure all these are not going to vibrate loose. Anything that I can put this on, I'll check anything. Especially, I've heard that these are bad about rattling loose on these. Your radiator guards are bad about getting loose, so those are always worth a good check. Let's see if I can get this tripod around here. Radiator guards here. This is also a good time to go ahead, check your air filter. I'm still going to get a pre-filter for this bike. I'm really not GNCC racing or anything like that, but still not a bad idea. A little extra insurance for you. But just real quick, we're going to take a look at that air filter. I'll show you how to get that cover off. So we're learning together. I believe it's going to be over here on the right side. Bear with me. And I'll probably go ahead and pull the seat off and check out what's under there. I haven't really tore this bike down. One thing I do want to check are those exhaust bolts. Here, those 8mm as well. Oh yeah, those are fine. Good deal, good deal. All right, so if I'm not wrong, it may be on the other side. Let's see here. Yep, I believe it's over here. Eureka. There we go. And we'll take a look at that air filter. I'm sorry, I didn't even bring you guys around to show you how that pops off, but it literally just has, pull it from up here to pop it loose. There's two more little quick connects right there, one down there, and it all just snaps off. We got a little bit of grass and crud there in that factory twin air filter that they put in there. But overall, not too bad. To take this air filter out, you drop that down, pull it straight out. Looks like it's had grease on around that. Intake looks super, super clean. That's a benefit. So you got a little keeper that goes into a plug here. Tell you what, I'll bring you guys along since I didn't show you how to take the cover off. At least I can show you this. Anyway. All right, so that little keeper right there will go in a plug right. Come on now, work with me. That little plug right there. So, and I guess these can go either way. Let's see here. That up in there. Drop that tab down. And put it on there. So we got a good seal all the way around. Get this cover back on. Let's see here. Said you got a snippet right there. And I have got air filter all over, air filter grease all over my plastics now. That's awesome. Here we go. Voila. I'm still not quite lining up right there. There we go. I think. Well, for this just to be a snap in, snap out type of deal, it's a little bit of a headache. There she goes. All right, the way it comes off, you just pull it down right there. Once you get those, it pops right off. All right, so we learned that together. All right, guys, so the last step of this whole process is don't forget to put your brake spring back on. We're going to do that. May go for a little bitty ride, but that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for hanging around. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Thank you.